Welcome to My First Car Podcast, the very first episode of My First Car Podcast. We are your hosts, Geoff and Dan. Geoff, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just good. I'm great. This is the very first epised of My First Car Podcast. It's my first car podcast.
It's our first car.
Exactly. Our first car podcast. Do you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Geoff. I work in online digital media and tech support and mostly just YouTube and social media, Facebook, Twitter, that kind of thing. But most of my job is just YouTube and some tech support.
YouTube and tech support. That is my life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm 32, and of course, I love cars.
Yes. That's going to be a common theme with these podcasts, the whole car liking thing, you know? My name's Dan. I'd rather not say my age because I'm significantly older than Geoff. Well, I'm going to be 30. I'm going to be 37 this year, man.
Oof.
I know, right? 37. That's only 3 away from 40.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing?
It was all downhill from like 30. I've been on the way down for 7 years.
We're going to have to start talking about Cadillacs real soon.
Oh, man. And white shoes. So, yeah, my name's Dan. My full-time job for the last 7 years has been doing YouTube, actually, which has been great. It's been fantastic, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
You want to do tech support?
We should. What was that?
You want to do tech support?
You want to trade for it? We should do like a job trading session for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you think it's easy. You think this YouTube thing is easy. I bet it's a lot easier than tech support, though. That's for sure. Tech support's pretty easy sometimes. So the point of the podcast, we're both car guys. I mean, we thought about different interesting ideas for talking about cars. You know, the common theme here is or are cars. Definitely not English because I can't figure it out.
That. Nope.
So Geoff actually had the brilliant idea to talk to people, have guests on every week. Now this first episode is going to be just the two of us because we got to tell you guys about our cars and how we came about getting them and all that stuff. But every episode we'll have a guest on and we'll talk about their first car. And we'll also talk about other things. We'll talk about, sightings, news, our car history, other than the first car and stuff like that. But the main theme here is the first car. I'm very excited. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to have so many great guests. We're going to have Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
We're going to have Gord. Oh, no, never mind. Let's stay away from that one. We're going to have Barack Obama. I believe he's signed on to do the show.
I think Donald Trump said he'd come on too.
The Trumpster has mentioned he's been interested. He's definitely been interested.
Yeah, he's had a few cars.
His first car is probably something ridiculous too.
Yeah,
that his dad bought him.
Exactly, he bought them all.
Speaking of dads, we're gonna have my dad. My dad's going to come on. He's going to tell me about his... None of these guests are guaranteed to be on the show, but hey, if we end up with them, why not? They'll be
Little
great.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a reminder, if you want to keep track of My First Car Podcast, you can head to Twitter, twitter.com/firstcarpodcast, Instagram, for instagram.com, My First Car Podcast, and our website, myfirstcar.net.
All right, so let's get into some news now, some car news. What do you have in store for us today, Dan?
So, my friend, there's been a development in the world of SUVs and luxury SUVs, and I'm sure if you're a fan of motor vehicles and cars, you will have heard of the Rolls Royce. I don't even know how to say I think it's Cullinan.
It's not Culligan. Isn't that water?
Cullinan.
Cullinan.
Cullinan. I have no idea. I'm going to say Cullinan. It's a super luxurious SUV, and it looks like garbage, in my opinion.
Yeah. I got the link up here now. And again, all the links to anything we're talking about will be down in the show notes for anyone interested. But this car, or SUV, I mean, if you look at it from the inside, so I guess if you're driving it, it's not so bad.
That is a very good point. Like, inside is amazing. But your first impression, I mean, you don't, when you see a car, you don't think, the interior of that car is gorgeous. No, you see the exterior first. And the exterior of this car, I can't, the more I look at it, the more I can't buy what Rolls Royce is selling. Especially since the price tag have you seen the price tag?
No, I have not.
So it starts in US dollars.
Okay.
$325,000.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little out of the price range.
Yeah, a little bit.
$325,000. Now the outside, brutal. The inside, is very, very nice.
Yeah, it looks like I'd sit in it.
The rear doors open like Suicide style, which is kind of cool. You don't see that too often. I bet there's an umbrella holder in here somewhere. I mean, there's always an umbrella holder with these things.
There has to be, yeah.
The dash looks incredible. The wooden dash, like I'm actually on the Rolls Royce official website, and this dash actually looks fantastic. Like, I guess if you buy it, you're mainly seeing the inside, right? So it kind of makes sense. But man, I can't get over how ugly the exterior is.
So yeah, it looks like they just took the front of most normal Rolls Royce, like the front bumper. It works on the cars, but it does not work on an SUV, a big tall vehicle.
For some reason, work. I agree. It's just I can't do it. I mean, it's got impressive specs too, like twin turbocharged V12.
Oh my gosh.
Right? 6.75 liters of fury, 412 cubic inches. Like, it's massive power, putting out 563 horsepower, like 850 foot-pounds of torque.
It's not bad for getting groceries and stuff.
That's exactly what it's going to be used. Actually, it won't even be used for getting groceries. Let's be honest. Like, you're probably not even going to... The person who buys this car probably won't even be driving it.
Exactly. Yeah, you just buy it to sit in the back.
This is like the dream of chauffeurs everywhere.
Well, I'm in the market for a new job.
Right? Imagine you get this job like, oh yeah, I just bought this Rolls Royce Cullinan. That's what I'm calling it from now on, Cullinan. And I want you to drive it for me everywhere where I need to go. To the office, back from the office, I guess, like to the office the next day, and then back from the office the day after that. And it goes 155 miles an hour, so you'll get to the office and back pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's got air suspension, too.
There's no trunk space.
I didn't even look at the trunk space.
It looks like the seats... The rear seats are obviously, these Rolls Royce cars are built for legroom in the back, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at where they're located, they're so far back that it looks like there's barely any trunk space.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what you'd put in a trunk in one of these cars. What do you care? You're not going to go golfing. Well, maybe you'll go golfing in this thing.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it, right? I liked how the promo ad has it's like darting around in the desert. That's the first and last time it's ever going to see sand.
And that's why in the picture it has the wrap on it.
Yeah, it has that. That's like they always put those weird little wraps to avoid. Oh, this'll fool them. This isn't a Rolls Royce. It looks like a Rolls Royce with a bad paint job, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting vehicle. I wouldn't buy one. Like, I was in the market for an SUV a couple of years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. And I looked at the new Maserati SUVs also had like a similar feel to them where it just didn't look right. I don't know what's going on with these companies. I mean, Lamborghini makes an SUV now. Has Ferrari dipped into the SUV game yet?
They're making hybrids, I think, right? So
are they really?
Yeah.
Let me see. The Ferrari SUV is confirmed for late 2019. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess everyone's making SUVs now.
Everybody's getting in on the action. This thing actually, I mean, it's not. It doesn't look terrible, but then again, I think it's like a computer-generated image. I don't think it even has a name or anything. I just looked for Ferrari SUV.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like all these luxury SUVs, I feel like if you have the money to buy a luxury vehicle, then you buy like a sports car or something, you know?
Yeah, and then you buy an Escalade, and that's
yeah, that's your get around cars, the Escalade.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Rolls Royce Cullinan. What do you think? Out of 5, style-wise, what would you give it?
Just the exterior, I'm gonna say like a 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was around there. I was thinking 1.5, 2 as well for the exterior. The interior, I mean.
Oh yeah, I'd put that in my.
That's a hard 5. That's a solid 5 right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the price just brings it all together. It's so affordable.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're gonna see these everywhere.
It's not meant to be affordable.
No. But yeah,
so what's floating your boat?
All right, so nothing as ridiculous as the Rolls Royce, but for me, I'm looking at the new Shelby, or at least the rumors of a new Shelby car. I'm assuming you're familiar with Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most prolific and like iconic cars from like the 60s, right?
Absolutely.
Shelby GT500, the Shelby Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
These are iconic.
Yeah.
They had a rebirth in 98 to 2000 something, where they made the Series 1.
Okay.
And it kind of looked like a Viper-y type car.
Okay.
And it just got announced that they're making a Series 2. So they tried to make more of these old Shelbys back in the early 2000s, and it just didn't take off.
Okay.
And they've been trying, I don't know. They keep trying to make them again. And it looks like it's official now that they're coming out with new Shelby Series 2 cars.
So I love this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like rebooting an old classic muscle car without, I think Aston Martin did something similar too recently. They brought back an old vehicle. Now they have very limited production and ridiculously expensive, but just the fact that they're bringing back the old nostalgic vehicle, like this thing looks great. If that's what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So that picture there is the Series 1.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be based on that because they still have a bunch of body parts left over from that. So they're going to be based on the Series 1, but it could be cool. They're only making a few of them. They're not making a lot. I don't know why, but they're only making maybe like a handful.
But are they making them like replicas of the old ones, or are they updating it?
They're updating it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Now I'm not as on board as I was before.
So it's like a modern take on,
I would
assume, on the old 60s cars.
Yeah, no, I'm no. Like, leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like when I was talking about Aston Martin, they literally did like an old exact replica of the older vehicles and are selling them. I wish I could remember what it was called, but it wasn't a huge production run, and again, stupid expensive. But
yeah,
I wouldn't mess with something like that. Like, why don't companies bring out a classic car, put today's technology in it, but leave everything about it the same, like the exterior, the shell, the even the interior, stuff like that. Just put the stuff under the hood, make that new. Mm-hmm. The stuff under the car, make that new. But everything else, just leave it classic. It sold so well back in the day for you. Just do it again.
I wish, because this Cobra and the GT500 and all that kind of stuff were just so amazing looking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I could, if you put one of those on some modern hardware, that'd be nice.
Which is basically what resto mods are, right? Like, people are restoring these cars and doing that already. But if Ford did it, come on, how could you go wrong with something like that?
Exactly. So apparently they're only making 4 of these cars.
4 of them?
Yeah, and hand-built.
Wow, talk about rare.
But why?
I don't know. Now, okay, so here's a question. This is going a little bit off of what we were planning on talking about, but did you hear about the Ford GT fiasco?
Just the GT?
The fact that Ford is not allowing people who purchased the Ford GT, the newer Ford GT, to resell the vehicle, I think for 2 years or something like that.
Oh, was it 2 years? I know I'd heard, I think, John Cena tried to sell his?
Yes, John Cena tried to sell his, and one recently sold at auction for, I believe, over $1 million, over $1 million or something, like $1.2 million or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so they have this contract that the people who purchase the vehicles sign, that they can't sell the car, but I don't think it's legally binding because people seem to be selling these cars.
Interesting.
Yeah, Ford, come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Straighten up and fly right.
So I guess whoever's going to buy one of these four Shelby cars, I would assume, since they're like hand built to specification, they're going to be same contract.
I would imagine so.
Oh,
which you have to question. I mean, it says that it's going to sell for. Oh my goodness! Did you see the price?
Yeah,
$250,000. Wow.
And it's you're not buying a car that you can go and just get a few extra parts if something breaks or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're only making 4.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'd save my money and buy like a Cobra or a GT500.
Absolutely, like the original GT.
yeah, the original.
You know what they should remake? Shelby's best vehicle. Are you ready for this? 1984 Dodge
No.
Shelby Charger. Have you seen that beauty?
I have not. It just sounds
gorgeous.
horrible.
Gorgeous. What was Carroll Shelby thinking when he put his name on it?
Money?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, the show. Oh,
yeah. What a beast, right?
I guess for the 80s it fits in.
Yeah, I guess so. It's an interesting looking vehicle. Why don't you remake that, Dodge? I was gonna say Ford, but I guess it's not a Ford product.
No,
remake it. Dodge will be all over it.
Man, that car. Oof.
It's beautiful. You want it.
No, just keep the classics and stick with it. We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
No more. Well, it's like all the Fords now, all the Mustangs. You can just buy the GT or I guess the GT500 package on them. It comes with some stripes and some stuff.
It comes with some stripes. So I've been going to a lot of, and you've been to a car show with me recently. Yep. The new Chargers, the new Mustangs, Challengers. I can't get into it.
No. I
don't know what it is about them. I think maybe it's just because I see so many of them on the road that they don't do it for me. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to say I dislike it, but it's weird when people buy a 2018 car and bring it to a car show. Like, I don't know. Like, I like that they're there, and I'm all for like car culture and inclusivity. Yeah, that's a word. Yep. But it just feels like, okay, you bought a car, and I don't, I
mean, they're not bringing a Rolls Royce SUV, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I'd almost rather see that than like a million Challengers and Chargers and Mustangs and all that stuff at these car shows.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because it's just a weird feeling being at a car show surrounded by all these classic beauties and then in rolls a 2018 Charger or something, straight off the lot. Like,
I mean, if it's like a Hellcat shows up, that's kind of cool. It's a little more rare, right?
Yeah.
But you're looking at these like run of the mill, like it's just because it looks like a classic. Like I don't know.
It's got a cool name, so it's got to be.
I'm just being a bit of a snob now. I think that's what's happening.
I think that's okay.
It is allowed.
Yeah.
You are allowed to be a snob.
Yep.
So Geoff.
Hello.
Sightings. We all see these things on the road. Every once in a while, you see something super rare, super exciting, or just interesting. Have you spotted anything recently that you were wanting to talk about?
So I drive a lot. I drive a lot for work, and I've seen, actually even today, I saw 3 Lamborghinis on the way home.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. But I've seen a whole bunch of stuff this last, I guess, week or so. But the one car that stuck out for whatever reason, and I keep coming back to it, was I think early 90s Nissan 240 SX.
Ooh.
It looked perfect.
Early 90s. Now, wait a minute. Yeah. I believe my favorite model year of the early 90s 240s was the 94? Is that the one with the slightly slanted headlights?
It's with that one would be with the pop-up headlights.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I like the ones a little bit further down, the 90s, I think.
So I had, as soon as I got home, I had to Google it and Wikipedia and everything and looked up. So yeah, the pop-up headlights are first generation. The straight across headlights are second gen. Mm-hmm. And then I think that's it.
The 97s are the ones that I liked, actually. I just looked it up. The 97s are my favorite. I really, really wanted one. Back when I was looking for my first car, which we will get to later.
Mm-hmm. I think most car people were probably looking at these cars.
I think around my age, yeah. Or our ages, I guess, because you're not that much younger than me. Let's face it. You're not that much younger. Don't think about pulling that on me. But yeah, that's a pretty good. Yeah, they're getting more and more rare. Even like the Nissan 300S ZXs. Have you seen a lot of those on the road? You don't see a lot of those anymore.
Nope, not at all.
And you know what? Even like the early Civics now are getting really rare to see. And when I was growing up, they were everywhere.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everybody had a Civic with a 20-foot spoiler on the back.
Yeah, and the big, giant, like 12-inch muffler tip coming out of the back of the car. Yeah, and it sounded, I wish it sounded like that. It sounded much, much worse. But now they're like, you rarely see them. It's kind of weird. Like, those are probably the cars that'll be classics in 20 years.
I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, just looking up the 240SX, and it went up in price a lot over the years, and especially the used ones, they're still really high in price, actually. Mm-hmm. Compared to other cars in the same category, I guess.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to like... One car that was always weird at that time was... you remember the Neon SRT? Like the Neon?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I had friends who loved that car, and they were always like, yeah, it's going to be a classic. It's just like a muscle car in the 60s. I still can't, till this day, I just cannot see those cars. I mean, obviously, the regular Neons will never be classics because there were so many of them, and I don't know, they just weren't very special. The SRTs were a little more rare, but Neon? I don't know.
I had people tell me about the Cavalier. What was the special edition of the Cavalier? They had the nice one with the trim around the lips.
Wasn't that just like the Z24 or something?
Yeah, I think so. But it looked kind of nice at the time.
Yeah. There was also there was like a Pursuit or a Cobalt. There was like a turbo. Oh, the SS. The Cobalt came in an SS model.
Yep.
That was crazy. Those cars, they sucked. They still do. I apologize if you own one of those vehicles. I'm sure they're very, very good vehicles, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My sighting, Geoff.
Okay.
I want to. By the way, where was that car? Was it in and around the city?
Yeah, it was in Toronto. Yeah.
Okay. Because you tend to see them here a little more often than you probably see them where you're about. Where you come from, your stomping grounds. Mm-hmm. My sighting. So I had to drive up an hour north, actually, about a week ago to visit some family, and I'm coming out of my street, and on the opposite side of the street, it's a red light. I'm turning left. Opposite side of the street, the person's turning right. So we're going in the same direction. Is a Lancia Delta Integrale.
Whoa!
Yes, in red, driven by a man, an older gentleman, I think, and I make the left, and I'm staring at this thing, and this guy makes a right, and so he's like right behind me, and I'm like, oh, I hope he gets on the highway. And I get on the highway, and he follows me on the highway. I'm like, yes, this thing sounds so cool. Like it's not like super loud or anything, but just the engine sound from it is amazing. And he wasn't even driving really fast. He was just cruising. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It's one of my favorite hatchbacks.
And
I think that's like the second one. Yeah, no, that's like the second one I've seen in probably my entire life living in Toronto.
Wow.
Now, there was a white one not too long ago, too, that was actually for sale.
Really?
Yeah, but it got snatched up quick. But, that one looked really, really cool.
I have a deep love and appreciation of hatchbacks for some reason.
Yes.
So things like that just looks so cool.
The hatchbacks, I think they're just like, Europe was huge for hatchbacks.
Yeah.
And I think that craze sort of never really took hold here, but there are the people who do like hatchbacks are like fanatic about them.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them myself.
I agree.
You'll see why in a little while. But yeah, that's the most interesting thing I've seen in the last little bit.
Man,
Man,
I
I
saw
really love that
a
Lancia.
240. You saw the Lancia. Like, man. That's
Well,
cool.
I mean, the 240s are cool too. Well, you saw Lamborghinis and stuff today. I didn't see any Lamborghinis today.
like 3 of them today.
Yeah, no, they're getting super common.
Everyone's got a Lambo.
It's not like a 240.
This
You know, if
car's
I
cool.
find like a 96 or a 97 240, I might take a chance on it just because of the nostalgia factor. I so wanted one as my first
you have
car.
to. Oh yeah.
I have a really funny story about that too. Actually, I could tell it now because it has nothing to do with my first car. But when I was looking for it, when I was looking for my first car, I went with my dad to look at these cars, and inside the dealership was one of these guys. I think it was a 96, but it was black and it was manual. And the guy, I think, was asking $10,000 at the time for it, which is pretty crazy for like my first vehicle. Like, there's no way I can afford that. So my dad tried to like talk him down. So my dad's like the typical tire kicker. He's walking around the car. He's like, yeah, so good looking car. I'll give you $6,500. Like, he basically lowballed him. Like, what is that? Like 35%. He knocked off 35% right away. And the guy's like, no thanks, sir. We're about to close, so you might want to leave.
Take your 6,500 and go.
Yeah, we basically got kicked out of there. But that was fun. That was a fun experience.
Man.
240. Good spot.
Mm-hmm. Are they making new Lancias?
Are they? I mean, well, Lancia is still around, but nothing. I don't think it's. Let me check it out. Lancia.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything like spectacular. You know.
I got to import one then.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you want to import these. Yeah. No, don't. They got the Lancia. Is it an Ypsilon? Oh, it's terrible. It's a hatch, but it's not a good-looking hatch.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no, not gonna do it. Their website's really interesting. They have models,
See that?
just like hanging out on the website
Ypsilon.
itself.
Wow.
The Ypsilon. It sounds like a fancy perfume.
Wait, what was the car that Homer made in The Simpsons?
Oh, it was the Canyonero. Was it the Canyonero?
No, that was the big SUV.
That's right. Yeah, that's what the Rolls Royce is the Rolls Royce Canyonero.
Yes, it was. Okay. Oh, it was called the Homer. Okay. Wow.
Oh, the Homer.
I thought it was called the Ypsilon.
The Ypsilon sounds really cool. Oh yeah, It is the Homer. There it is. That's an interesting vehicle.
Yeah.
Probably better than the Ypsilon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, these.
Not a fan.
These. Okay. No, sorry, Lancia.
I know. Yeah, you're trying, but maybe bring back some of the old stuff. Do like Ford is doing, but better.
But better.
Bring back a Lancia Delta Integrale. I just like saying it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try saying it. Not at all. All right, so now we want to take a look at our car history, but not quite yet. Our first car. So
Okay.
Car history. The past cars. What do you have?
Oh, this is a long list for me. Let's start from the back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start from my second car. Let's start from my second car. After my first car, I got a 2004 Saab 9.3 Aero in red. Beautiful car. I loved it. Like, honestly, it was manual. It was the 2-liter turbo. It had talk about torque steer. The car, like when you stepped on it, this car could go, and it wasn't very stable when it started going, especially if you punched it. But I loved it. It was so good. 4 doors, like beautiful car. I did some modifications to it, Geoff.
Of course,
as a young man does.
No, hold on. Well, how old were you at this time?
Oh man, so I got my license pretty late. I think I was like early 20s when I got my license.
Okay.
So I probably was in my mid 20s, I would say. I couldn't nail down a year for you, but probably good. 25, 26 around there. So I put aftermarket wheels, the black ones actually.
Oh, nice.
Which at the time, by the way, I was a trendsetter. Because everybody was doing the chrome and even some gold and stuff. I went with the black wheels. I was setting the bar real high. And then I got a front spoiler, not the whole spoiler kit for the whole car, just for the front.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because the car actually looked a little bit awkward. The front bumper was significantly shorter or not as close to the ground as the rest of the car was. So I always thought that looked a little off balance. So I got the front spoiler. I got it professionally painted too. Like it matched.
Ooh, nice.
Perfect color match. It looked incredible. I missed that car. Anyway, from there, what did I get after that? After that, I got pretty intense. I purchased a 2010 Subaru WRX STI.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I modified it.
Of course.
This one I lowered. I put white. It was blue. It was the World Rally blue. It was the hatch, by the way. It wasn't the trunk model. It was the hatch.
You have to get the hatch.
Absolutely. Well, they don't even offer it anymore in the STI. I should have kept. That's the one car I kind of regret getting rid of because it was. It's a little rare right now. Yeah. But anyway, I lowered it. I got really wide, stretched tires, big wheels, huge lip on them in white. And then I put the front spoiler on it in black. The car looked amazing. I'll have to dig up a picture somewhere, but yeah, that one I kind of regret trading in. Now, near the end, it started to give me some trouble. One of the wipers stopped working for whatever reason. Oh. Yeah, the windshield was cracked. The springs were adjustable springs. They were no longer adjustable. They had seized. I drove the car through the winter. At that time, I was driving for a living too. So not for a living, but it was part of my job. So I drove the car through the winter and everything seized on it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that was fun. From there, I got a 2010, again, used this time, Range Rover, full-size, supercharged. That car was good for 2 years.
Was that the white one?
That was the white one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it had the beige interior. Really cool car. Like I felt like the king of the road. I felt like I was driving a Canyonero. It was a good car. It had DVDs in the headrest, which, by the way, I didn't use once the whole 3 years of owning the vehicle. Not once did I turn on that DVD player. It was good for about 3 years, and then things started to go on it. Serious things. Engine problems, brakes, electrical issues, tons of electrical issues. Yeah. And just before I sold it, I think I spent $7,000 in repairs.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I thought, you know what? It's time to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I traded that in for my current daily driver, which is a 2017 Jaguar F-Pace S in red.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it so far. No problems with that yet.
LEDs that shine on the ground.
Oh, yeah. It's really cool. It's got these little, when you unlock the doors at night, the mirrors kind of pop out. And with the mirrors, there's a little light that pops out with the mirrors. And on the ground, it shines the Jaguar logo, which is really awesome. I think that's kind of a neat little feature. But yeah, I have that. And then I've got my toys, which... The toy cars. I've got a 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage that I got around the time I got the Range Rover, I'd say. I've had that car for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. In gray, that's the gray one. It's also manual, no automatic. I don't believe in it. It's not a thing that I do. Then I've got it's currently in the shop getting it roadworthy, a 1960. This is where my obsession comes in. So I'm really into the older cars. So I've got a few of them. I've got a 1960 Buick LeSabre in sort of a burgundy and white combination. It's got the 364 in it. Automatic, but the car actually looks like it's in pretty decent condition. Then I've got a 63 Galaxy.
Ooh, yeah.
Fastback. So it's actually in really, really good condition. You've seen that one at the show.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's cool.
Yeah, it's like a light blue, like an aqua color, really great shape. I got that I think I got that last year. Yeah, that's like a That's like the other toy car. I've got the fast one, the Aston, and then I got that one for slow cruising. And then I've got also in the shop, and my last car is a 1964 Galaxy convertible. So I really like the Galaxies, apparently.
It's even that's especially a cruiser with the convertible.
Oh man, I cannot wait until that car is done. It's actually mechanically that car is in mint condition, but the body has seen some stuff. Like there is work to be done on that body. So it's gonna be a while before I can drive that. But I love that's gonna be a great car, and I think that's definitely that's it. For me, for now. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like that was a long list of cars. I have a problem.
Yeah, but I think that's the point.
That everybody's got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Could be worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what about you? What's your not first car?
Okay, so mine is much smaller. My car history. So my second car was a 2002 Mazda Protege 5.
Oh, nice. My parents had one of those for the longest time.
Oh, wow.
What color was it?
It was black.
Okay.
So, yeah. I think I was 18 at the time.
Oh, nice.
So I had that car and lowered it.
So wait, I need to know this because every Protege I've ever seen, this was not there was a wagon version too, right?
It was the wagon.
This was the wagon.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is where I need to ask you. Did it start rusting above the Protege symbol?
Yes.
Why is it every single one of those things, it starts rusting right there in that same spot?
So I forget which one, but on the back, they had the Protege symbol, and then they had the Mazda symbol in the middle, and then on the right, they had, I think it said Mazda, or what did it say on the right? I'm trying to look at it. I think it said Mazda.
Maybe, yeah. Or did it say like LX or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So the Mazda symbol, like the main symbol in the middle, is just stuck on.
Mm-hmm.
The Protege 5 symbol, where all the rust comes in, is actually drilled into the metal.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, but a lot of cars have drilled in badges, but they don't rust like that. I don't know what they did wrong there.
They did something. Yeah, that was the number one thing, is everyone was trying to get rid of those and clean them up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved that car. It was lowered. I had big 17-inch rims.
Nice.
Gunmetal black rims.
Oh, that's good with the black color. That's a good combination.
Yeah. I had all the tuner stuff. The
cold air intake.
Cold air intake. The
Did you buy it on eBay?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I had the cool Euro taillight things.
I remember those. Yeah.
Fog lights put in the bottom. Yellow fog lights.
This was a manual vehicle?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Of course.
I would have lost a little respect for you if you said, and it was automatic.
No. Only manual. I love that car. But by the end of its life, there was electrical issues. Oh. I think with all of our cars, there's probably these little things that we kind of deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Mm.
But you give it to anybody else, and the car would probably explode. Like just little tiny things that you kind of just brush off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was starting to turn off by itself.
Oh no!
Yeah, it wasn't good. But I love that car so much.
Yeah,
and then it kind of goes a little downhill from there because I got married.
Oh no! Oh, wait a minute. You said you had that car at 18. How long did you have it for?
I had that from 18 until 2024.
Oh, so it lasted you a good amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's not bad.
No, it was good. It was a good little car. But when I got married, the stipulation of getting a new car was that it couldn't be manual.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's okay. As long as it wasn't a minivan.
No, it was a 2009 Mitsubishi Lancer.
Oh, the Lancer's not. When I was looking for my Subaru, I was thinking about the Lancer. Now I was waiting for the Evo Lancer to be released at the time. But I was looking at Rally Art Lancers and stuff, and they were kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was automatic and boring. And
Yeah. Automatic and boring kind of go a little bit.
The car was
like,
cool. Like I had I don't even remember because this is my last car. it's been so long now. Yeah, put the garage door seal front bumper on it, or front spoiler. Do you ever do that?
The garage door seal?
So for any tuners that are listening, or any guys that worked on Civics or Mazdas or any of these little tiny things, a big thing back in the day was super cheap. You buy a garage door seal kit from Home Depot.
Is it the ones that go at the bottom of the doors?
Yeah, the little black rubber thing.
Yeah.
And you get some double-sided tape, and you stick it on the bottom of your front bumper. Huh. And it legit, like I had it on the Mazda. When I sold that Mazda, the guy's like, "Man, that's front spoiler. How much did that run you?" And I said, I think $10.
$10, man.
It only works if you have like a flat front bumper, like it's flat on the bottom.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't work. It didn't work on the. I looked at it on the Lancer. It didn't really work because it had the two little lips on the right and left of the front bumper. But yeah, that thing, man. You get any car, put that Home Depot lip on there, it'll look great.
Wow, I never even. That's crazy that I've never even heard of that.
If you look up Home Depot, I'm gonna do it right now because
Home Depot front spoiler
car lip, and you'll see it on like Civics and Subarus and everything. It looks good if you do it properly.
Let me see. I'm looking at. Oh man, yeah. Look at that. That does look really good.
Yeah, like it's not bad for $10, right?
Wow, I'm so surprised.
So yeah,
I'm so surprised.
That's the number one mod.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's easy and cheap.
People are still doing it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Nice.
You can actually. One funny thing is, every time I buy a new car, one of the things I do is look on eBay, look on Amazon for just random stuff that can go on it. Just seeing what other people have done to these cars. Mm-hmm. Because you get a lot of cool pictures on some of these Amazon sites.
Yeah.
If you go on eBay and look up most modern cars and front spoiler or front lip, it'll just be people have bought these Home Depot garage door seals, repackaged them as like a professional front lip kit, and charging like $50 for it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
I'm honestly very surprised. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get if you get a Lancer and a Mazda.
Comes with the Lancer. It was the Lancer forums, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So after the Lancer, we started having kids. So I kept driving that, and my wife got a minivan.
Of course. Oh, boy.
And,
oh, boy.
And she crashed it.
No way. What kind of minivan was it?
Yeah, it was a Dodge Caravan.
Oh man. Probably the most minivan of minivans.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's yeah, I'm glad that. So when that thing was gone, I convinced her finally for us to buy an SUV. So now we have the Nissan Rogue.
Oh, how do you like that?
I love it. That thing is it's not like we only have two kids, and we drive a lot down to like Florida and Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. And we can fit everything in it. Like it's got great trunk space, it's good fuel economy, and it looks kind of cool.
I had a friend who had that same car, and she loved it too until she crashed it and destroyed it.
So I think don't crash cars is
probably not. If you love something, don't crash it.
Except if it's a minivan.
In that case,
crash.
You just go ahead and. Well, the views expressed by Geoff do not necessarily reflect.
Yeah, but the cool part about that is actually when we bought it, we haggled some deal, and they actually threw in a set of Infinity rims.
Infinity rims, like
rims from an Infinity SUV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember which one, but I'll send you a picture of them.
Okay,
they're straight from one of their SUVs.
That's probably better than the Rogue's stock wheels, I imagine.
Yeah, they're pretty cool looking, and they're chrome and pretty fancy. But everyone asks us why we have Infinity rims.
Because we're cool and you're not.
Because Infinity makes Nissan and they're awesome.
Yeah, idiots.
Dude. So
how long have you had that now?
3 years, I think.
Are you close to getting another one, or are you still gonna like wait that one out for a while longer?
No, so we drive a lot once a year in that car.
Oh, you drive a lot once a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
To Myrtle Beach or Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
And then other than that, my wife drives the kids around and stuff during the day, and then to and from work sometimes, but it sits most of the time.
Do you still have your Lancer?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's one more car.
Okay.
So the Lancer died.
Okay.
It died. A horrible.
You sounded so sad.
Yeah.
The Lancer died.
I'd trade that Lancer for my protege if any day. But the Lancer died a horrible death. I didn't crash it or anything. It just stopped.
Oh, really? Just like stopped turning on?
Everything. The engine was dead. The engine seized completely.
What the heck happened?
I have no idea. But what I do know is that the price tag to fix it was worth more than the car.
Mm-hmm.
So what actually happened is, because I drive so far, we got, I'm almost ashamed to say, but the cheapest car possible for that drive. Like I literally only drive this car to and from work. Then I park it and don't even look at it. But it's a Kia Rio hatchback.
Oh boy. Kia Rio hatchback. Wow.
Little tiny white hatchback with, for some reason, aftermarket rims that I didn't buy.
You seem to love is it infinity wheels? Did you get infinity wheels now too?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. It's a nice car. It does its job. It's good on gas. But it pains me.
It's a Kia Rio.
It's standard.
Oh, there you go. At least you can have a little fun with that.
Exactly. I convinced my wife to do that.
Standard transmission, I mean, it brings up the fun factor like tenfold right away. You could put a standard transmission in even the most boring, even in that minivan. If you stick a standard transmission in there, you're bopping around gears with the kids in the back. That's a lot more fun than just hitting the gas and going.
I could see the commercials now for the new Dodge Cobra Shelby minivan.
Yeah, the Shelby minivan, manual transmission.
You know, I'd buy that one for sure.
I'm sure some people would.
So that's my my car history, and it's again this Kia Rio, I think, is a temporary thing. It's only going to last a couple of years, and then we'll transition to something better.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're just using it for driving, it's all about that gas mileage.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like for reference, I drive 120 kilometers per day.
Sorry, 120 kilometers?
Yeah. 60 kilometers there and 60 back.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's going to add up. That's 5 days a week?
That's 5 days a week.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. You know, my cousin has a, I don't know what year it is. I think it's 2014 or 2015 Nissan Altima.
Ooh.
And he says he gets about 1,000 kilometers per tank. Is he lying to me?
Oh, my God. How is that possible in a gas engine?
I don't know. But that's what he says. I don't think if you're listening, cuz I believe you.
I don't know.
Jeff does not believe you. I know.
Like,
yeah.
Don't they advertise like Volkswagen, they lie apparently, but don't they advertise like 1,000 on their diesel cars?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing this. It's a 2015, I believe. Maybe it's just a huge gas tank. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. Gas tank size. We're looking at. Oh gosh, this is gonna be hard to look up.
I should have got an Altima.
Right, that's what I was. It says fuel consumption 8.7 in the city, 6.2 on the highway.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like you're getting 1,000. Unless, the gas tank is the size of the car.
This gas tank is like 400 liters. Yeah, no, I have no idea what it is.
All right.
But I'm going to have to take his word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's my cousin.
Yeah, you have to.
It's family.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He wouldn't lie to me. Moving on. I guess it's time now for the big reveal. I kind of let the cat out of the bag earlier, a while back.
Let's set it up first. That we've been talking about this podcast for a few weeks now, I guess.
Yeah.
And we have not talked about anything we've talked about here tonight about cars, especially our first car. So technically, neither of us know what our first car is.
Yeah. We have avoided speaking about things like this, so we would have genuine reactions when we spoke about them. And so far, I'm very surprised by your car history already. The first car, like I said, I kind of let it slip a little bit, accidentally. But you know what? You go first, because I am super interested. Now, you showed my girlfriend a picture of this car. Apparently,
I did. She
seemed impressed by it.
I don't think she understood what it was.
I think you're probably right about that.
Now, okay, I might have overhyped, but
I'm really expecting something amazing now.
It was a Kia. No, so I gotta set the stage a little bit, because I was 15 years old.
15? You got your first car at 15?
15. I did not have a driver's license, obviously, because where we're from, you have to be 16 to get your D1, right?
Yep.
So I didn't have a driver's license, but I wanted a car. That's literally the only thing I wanted in life at the time as a 15-year-old kid, was a car.
Uh-huh.
My dad got his first car when he was 15 and kept it around the corner of his house so his dad wouldn't see it.
Really?
At night, he would ride his bike. So he would tell his friends he was ride his bike to his friend's house. He would get in his car and drive around town at 15.
Wow, that's without a license?
Oh, yeah. This is back in this is a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So for me, I guess he wanted to do a little bit of the same, but he wanted to let me get a car. So
you didn't have to hide it around the block.
I did not. I had to hide it from my mom for a little bit, but that's a different story. So 15 years old, I want a car. I want something that's awesome, because again, this would have been what, 2000.
Yeah. What year was it? I'm going to try to guess a few guesses here, depending on the year.
I have to. How old was that? I don't even know.
Well, if you were 15, that would have been roughly 18 years ago.
Yeah.
17 years ago, somewhere around there. So that would have been about 2000, right?
Yeah. So it was 2001. I finally got the
2001.
2001.
Okay. Now, obviously, it was not a new car.
No. So, just I had to confirm this. Yeah, clearly it was 2001, because this is the year that the Fast and the Furious movie first came out.
Oh boy!
But
okay,
my car was not in that movie.
It was not.
So the first car for me was a 1990 Eagle Talon all-wheel drive turbo.
Get out!
Yeah.
Get out of here! 1990.
1990, the first year they made it. 1990 Eagle Talon all-wheel drive, midnight blue, 200 horsepower.
So was it the all-wheel drive? It was the all-wheel drive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So you and my cousin, who I was talking about earlier, will have a lot to talk about. This guy, that is his favorite car.
Oh,
he is owned in one iteration or another. He's had a couple of the more modern ones. I think it was like 97 or something.
Yeah.
But he's had, from the early 90s, he's had probably 8 or 9 of them.
Wow.
Over the course of his life, and he loves them, and that is super surprising. I was gonna get something like an Acura Integra or something,
no way,
because that's what all the kids wanted. But an Eagle Talon, really?
So back in that day, I hated Honda Civics.
Really? You were one of those guys?
Yeah, big time. I hated the Honda thing because, again, it was the Fast and the Furious, so everyone was buying the cheap little Honda Civics or the CRX or the
CRXs, sure.
Yeah. And putting spoilers and rims and all this stuff on them. I wanted something different, so that's why I got the Eagle Talon, midnight blue, big white rims on it.
So you also had the blue and white rim, or the blue car with the white rim combo, like I had with the Subaru. Nice.
It had 3-inch exhaust from the turbo back, no catalytic converter, no muffler, just exhaust straight back. Big giant air intake. I removed the intercooler from it was in the wheel well, the front passenger side wheel well.
Yeah, you just front mount.
Mount.
The front mount intercooler, of course.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I love that.
Did you upgrade the turbo?
No, I didn't upgrade that.
Did you know about like what are they? Oh man, I know so well. I knew so much about these things just from my cousin. What was that?
Valve?
Well, of course, the blow off valve. You had to change that, right?
Yep. course. You need.
Did it make a ridiculous? Did it make scaring people on the sidewalk as you drove by?
That's awesome.
What was the? It was it the mass airflow sensor?
Oh yeah. I remember something. This is a long time ago, but yeah, I remember something with that. You have to move a thing. Yeah.
And then there's like a little. Oh man, I wish I had him on here. He would be blown away right now. There was like a little digital thing that you could hook into your car's computer, and you could change all the stats to the engine through that.
Oh yeah,
I forgot there was a specific name for it, but I forgot what it was.
It was the coolest car ever, and I paid $500 for it.
You paid $500 for it.
The guy that we bought it from, like I can picture exactly where, but you probably know exactly where it is too. It's in the town that I'm living in, but the gas station guy that had it said that the entire engine was blown, everything was seized, it wasn't going to work. Huh. So we paid $500 for it. The body was mint. Like everything else looked good. My dad has worked on cars his whole life, so he knows a thing or two about these things. So we're like, man, let's give it a shot, and maybe it can be a nice little project. We can play with it together, take it apart. So we took it home, spent the entire winter working on it, taking the whole engine apart, only to find out there was nothing at all wrong with it. Put some new gaskets on, cleaned it all up, and it ran perfectly ever since.
Well, what the heck was wrong with this guy at the gas station?
He was a mechanic there.
He was a mechanic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he thought the engine was seized?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, this thing lasted me through high school, until I graduated from high school and got the Mazda.
Oh, yeah.
But I had this car up until I was 20. I still had it.
Wow, for 5 years, huh?
Yeah.
So what happened to it?
I hit 300,000 kilometers, and all the little things that were very old started showing their age, and it just started dying. And I got the new car, and I at the same time left for the military, so I couldn't pay any attention to it anymore.
Yeah.
So we ended up donating it to...
You donated? You didn't even sell it?
No. I tried selling it. Nobody wanted it for some reason.
Well, I was going to say that's weird, but that's not really weird because...
it's an old car.
Because my cousin, to this day, he still looks at Talons like on the classifieds, and he's still... I think his dream is to still buy another one, even though he's got 2 kids, he's got a wife. He wants a weekend car. He has a weekend car, actually, but he wants... I guess he still has the bug, you know? And he still looks at cars on the classifieds. Every once in a while, he comes across a Talon that looks actually pretty decent condition. I swear to you, they're probably... I don't think I've seen one more expensive than like $1,500 right now. Yeah.
So I'm probably going to buy one today.
You might. I mean, for $1,500.
This thing, oh my goodness. The turbo, all-wheel drive. In the wind, it don't need snow tires. It's all-wheel drive.
Yeah, those things were actually... I mean, every time he took me for a ride, I was super impressed. They were for what they were actually like kind of, I would consider them a sleeper car.
Oh yeah. And what we were told, like what we saw in some of the forums, they used to call them the 5-liter eater.
The 5-liter eater, the DSM forums? Were you part of the DSM forums?
Of course.
I bet you were. My cousin was on that forum every single day.
Yep. So, yeah,
man, the 5-liter eater.
Mm-hmm. I love that thing. Leather interior.
Nice.
The coolest car at school. Because, like you said, all the other kids in my high school were driving Civics and Integras.
Yeah.
And I was rolling this thing with... They had no idea what it was. Nobody knew what it was.
That's the best part.
They always asked me to do a burnout, and I just laughed. I'm like, I can't.
It's all-wheel drive, idiots. Did you ever take it to the track?
No. But up north of where I am... there's some roads that you can drive on that
there's some roads
that I know.
Oh, that's cool. That's way cooler than my first car.
Yeah, but okay, so my first car was that thing. It was really cool, but now I drive a Rio, so
right,
your turn.
I guess that's true. So my first car, I let it slip before, but it was a 2010
Okay.
So pretty late in the game.
Yeah.
I was 2000. Was it? No, sorry, not 2010. What am I saying? 2000, not 2010. 2000. No, it wasn't recent. A 2000 Ford Focus ZX3.
Ooh, okay. So you did slip the Focus, but the ZX3 part you didn't.
Well, the ZX3. So a lot of people thought, oh, ZX3, that's like some sort of upgraded engine. No, it's not. It's not. It's just. It means that it's 3 doors. It's the hatchback with the 2 doors and the hatch. That's all it was.
Was it gray?
It was black.
Okay, that's fine.
It was black. It was manual. Okay, so I bought this thing similar to your story. I already had my. Did I have my G1? I did have my G1. I already had my G1. However, I did not know how to drive manual, and so I bought this thing with my dad. We went in there. He didn't lowball the guy. I think I bought it for $6,000 or something like that. And I put up half of the money, and my parents were nice enough to put up the other half. So I bought it. I brought it home, and it was right before my parents went on vacation. Ooh. And so my dad wasn't around to teach me how to drive it. So I would get my buddy to drive, because he knew he was the same age as me, but he had his G2, I think, at the time. I think he probably already had his full G. I was probably 21 at this time. So It's pretty late in life to get, well, not late in life, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking. So I would get him to drive me to parking lots, and then I would take over and try to learn how to drive manual. And I have to say, bless his little heart, but he was not a good teacher.
Oh.
He was giving me, it seemed like every time he gave me pointers, I would stall the car, and then every time I just try to do it myself, I would get it moving. But yeah, I've got honestly so many stories associated with that car. Dang. Like, I only had it for 3 years. Mm-hmm. But in the full 3 years, never once did I change the oil.
Oh,
now I didn't drive it a whole lot, but not once in 3 years did I change the oil.
How's it still running?
It was barely running, and let me get to that. A couple of times it had. Here's the modifications I did to it. Let's just start with that. Mm-hmm. I wish I had known about this garage door opener or garage door modification, because I actually went and bought a front spoiler for it, like out of like a hard plastic. And then I was too poor to have somebody install it for me, so me and my cousin decided to do it. Yeah. So we installed the spoiler. Everything's going great. We do the one side. We're wrapping it around the bottom of the car. We get to the other side. There's about like a 2-inch extra. There's 2 inches extra of the spoiler on one side of the car, and we're like, what the heck is this, man? Like, this is supposed to be a direct fit. And so I think we just ended up chopping that off. We just, it's okay, it's fine. Just chop it off. We just screwed it right to the bottom of the bumper. There was no special brackets or anything. We just screwed it right in.
Did you get this from eBay?
I don't know where I bought it. No, I think it was off like a specific Ford website at the time. I was part of the Ford Focus forums, by the way. Mm-hmm, Focus Fanatics represent. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember exactly. What I did buy on eBay was my cold air intake.
Yeah, of course.
Which I installed myself. And I got an amazing deal. So there's a Ford Mondeo in Europe. They don't sell it here. Now I don't remember what year it was. I'm looking it up right now. It was probably, I would say, I wonder if it was also like late 90s. I'm going to go with 1998, Ford Mondeo. Maybe. No, it was older than that. But anyway, they had really cool wheels. It was like multi-spoke rally-style wheels, and I saw them on eBay for a ridiculously low price, $120. I put in a bid. I won them.
Holy crap.
$120. And then shipping was supposed to cost like a ridiculous amount, like $100 each wheel.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know how this happened, but I only got charged another $100 for shipping. These things show up at my door, and it's like, oh yeah, you owe some duty on it. I'm like, I owe some duty, and it was just like a small amount. And I know I'd only paid. I was expecting them to charge to charge me the rest when they deliver the wheels. Like, yeah, here, where's the other $300 you owe us for shipping or whatever? But no, small amount. So I got those. I put on some rubber band tires, lowered the car with lowering springs. IBOC, lowering springs represent. Of course. And that's it. I was off to the races. Not literally. I never raced it once.
No.
But, I mean, that car, no oil change. I drove it through a really deep puddle, and the cold air intake was the ones that kind of like went down. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Like, they were like bottom mounted.
Yeah.
And so the cold air intake sucked up some water.
Oh, no.
And the car died. And it wouldn't start for a while. So this was in the parking garage going into my work. And so I kind of like pushed it in the puddle. I pushed it out of the way so nobody would like see. I was more embarrassed than worried about the car. And I took off. I reached under the car. I pulled off the filter, the cold air intake filter, and I shook it off and got all the water out of it and put it back, and the car started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So did that. Later on in its life, it died on the highway a couple times. I'm pretty sure it was related to the sucking of the water into the engine.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
No. The front hood latch came loose, so sometimes I would be driving and I would notice the hood just pop up. I'm like, okay, well, that's the trunk or the hatch latch, I guess, broke because that would also pop up occasionally as I was driving. So, almost as if I had a giant spoiler on the back of my vehicle. That was the hatch. So that was fun. Yeah, lots of fun with that car. And when I went to trade it in, the salesman's like, all right, well, it looks like we have a deal. Did you want to, because my car was like right behind. I could see it from the window where we were, the guy's office. Do you want to like say goodbye to him? I looked at him like, nope, I'm good. I was ready to move on. I wanted that Saab so bad.
Wow.
But yeah, that was mine.
Wow. You know that your little goodbye story there makes me kind of sad because I never got to say goodbye to my Talon.
Oh, that sucks. You weren't around?
So when I left for the military, it was parked. So when I left, my Mazda was parked in the garage, and then my family had to use the driveway. So my car was parked kind of on the lawn, like a bunch of hicks or something,
like a lawn ornament.
Yeah, it was nice. And
was nice.
Neighbors kept complaining over and over again to the point where they said, if you don't get rid of it in however many days, we're going to get it towed and whatever.
What a bunch of jerk neighbors.
I know. And it wasn't bothering anybody. Like if I started the car and drove it around, it would bother everybody because it's so loud.
Yeah.
But it was just sitting there, minding its own business.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to sell it a bunch and never happened. So we talked about the donation thing, and by the time I got home, it was gone.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah, that was the worst.
It was, by the way, it was the ST220 wheels for the Ford Mondeo. Those are the ones that I had.
This Mondeo looks pretty cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They don't sell them here.
It looks like the new Ford, what's that thing called? The big
Taurus? Not a Taurus.
Not the Taurus, the other one.
The Fusion?
Yeah, it looks like a Fusion.
A little bit. I like the wagons. Man, the wagon Mondeos are nice. But yeah, it was the ST220 wheels that I had on my Focus that I imported from Europe for my little Focus as a poor, struggling. I was still going to university. I was only working part-time. I didn't have much money.
No. Well, that's the cool part about the first car.
Yeah, you have to like make do with what you got.
Yeah. Like, because I put so much effort into the Talon's intake and exhaust, and I forgot entirely about spark plugs and gas or fuel injection. If I tried to drive too fast and rev too high, the whole thing would just die.
Really?
Essentially, I guess what the mechanics were telling me was that it would just run out of gas. Like it couldn't push the gas in fast enough.
Yeah, wasn't getting enough.
Nope.
Huh. Well, your first car was, it sounds like way more fun than mine.
Yeah, but you got an Aston Martin.
Now. The 20-year-old me didn't. Little Ford Focus that my parents had to pay half of.
Those old Focuses weren't bad. Like, they look kind of cool.
Well, I loved them. This comes back to the whole hatch thing. I was really into hatches. That's why I also got that STI hatch later on, but super into hatches, super into rally racing at the time too, and the Focuses were making a little bit of a name for themselves in the rally world at the time.
Yeah.
And I really wanted the SVT Focus because they had the serious engines. Like, those were the real ones. On the forums, the guys with the SVTs, they were the ones that were, like, revered. Us little ZX3 owners,
Nah. So think
with the Ford, the Z-Tech engine is what it was called, by the way.
This is Z-Tech.
Z-Tech, not V-Tech,
Nope.
Z-Tech.
Z-Tech.
Yeah.
I think a cool thing that we could do for an episode would be let's take some time, go find our old cars, not the exact ones, but take them for a drive and report back the feedback.
That would be really cool, actually.
I'd get to drive a Talon.
That's all you really want. It wouldn't really be like driving yours, though, because you did like engine modifications to it.
Yeah.
The only way the Focus would feel like mine is if it died after sucking up a puddle. Poor Focus. I feel terrible.
Oh, it had a good life. Rest in peace.
And I was supposedly a car guy at the time. I would tell my friends, like, oh yeah, I've never changed the oil once. And they looked at me like, what? Wait, you've had the car how long? You've never changed the oil? That thing must have been bone dry. And when I traded in the car, the salesman was like, well, I think this is a sales tactic, by the way. But anyway, it didn't work on me. He was like, well, I got a family member who's looking for a little car like that. It's good on gas and they're really in the market for a car. Do you think that this might be the car for them? And I'm like, yeah, totally. Works perfect. Not a problem. I think the thing was doing like 300 kilometers to a tank by the time I sold it because of problems.
There's no oil.
There's no oil. I think I'd never like inflated the tires or reinflated them. I never checked. It was my first car, man.
Wow. Yeah.
It was all a learning experience for me. I liked it, but I didn't care for it.
No.
It was unfortunate. Poor little Focus. May it rest in peace. In addition to Twitter, Instagram, and our website, head over to Reddit, reddit.com/myfirstcar and reddit.com/myfirstcarpodcast for episode discussion.
All right, so I think so that'll do it for this episode. But we got a whole lot of information that we want to pass on because there's a lot of stuff, and this being our first episode, first episode. That's the name. Yeah, we want to cover a lot, kind of tell you about all the cool things to follow us. So make sure to subscribe on YouTube.
Everything
you
can subscribe for.
Yeah, just click subscribe everywhere. And wherever you're listening to. So if you're listening on iTunes, leave a rating if possible. Only if it's good. If it's bad,
you can still leave a rating just to make us feel better.
Yeah, that's fine. Twitter, again, support us on Patreon. We have a Patreon as well, which helps things a lot. And yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
If there's any companies that want to get at us with sponsorships, hey, we're all yours.
Ford.
We've mentioned a lot of. I mean, we got to stop bad mouthing companies now, right?
Oh crap! Yeah, so Ford's amazing. Eagle.
Well, they make a great Focus, that's for sure. The thing survived 3 years with no oil change.
That's a testament to that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So Ford. So yeah, if you want to support us, send us Focuses.
Send us Focuses. We advertise with Focuses are our currency.
That's a new Bitcoin Focus.
It's the Focus.
So yeah, subscribe on all the things and on the Overcast apps or whatever you guys use for your podcasts, and let us know what you think because feedback's awesome. It's the first one, so let us know.
Yeah, and the next episode we will have a guest on here, and we will discuss the guest's first car and their car history. Who shall it be?
Elvis.
I'm not gonna. Oh, dang it, man! You gave it away.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for listening. Look forward to more episodes every Monday, and we'll hopefully we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.